Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So hopefully you guys are enjoying your pre-Easter day. But today I want to talk about Bitcoin. Spent the longest ever amount of time doing this and why this is very bullish. And I have other bullish things to talk about and some altcoin news as well involving Polygon and Avalanche. So let's get started. Also, I got a new idea to share with you guys. Excited to share that idea during Q&A. But anyways, Bitcoin is still doing fine, 28,000. It's a little boring. That's fine. Boring is fine. Low volume right now. We had Good Friday. We're pre-Easter now. Tomorrow's Easter. You know, light volume. People are doing their thing. That's okay. And it's perfectly fine. Bitcoin is below 28,000. But I did show this yesterday, and I'm going to show it again. Some of these Easters have been absolutely fantastic coming off from our bottom, like the one in 2019. Okay? 2018 was a horrible year for crypto because 2017 was a really good year. And guess what? 2019, when we broke out, it started after Easter. Okay, so 2022, horrible year. 2021 was a good year. Does that mean we're going to follow 2019? And the same thing happened in 2016, 2012, right? Tomorrow could be the start of something great. Good, but there's many other reasons why. Okay, I did see some scary economic news or economic trend. Let's just put it that way. And that trend is this, that rates will keep on going. So after a job report that came out on Friday in the U.S., it was actually, it came in weaker than I expected, but overall still decently strong. And because of that, I saw that the percentage of the next rate hike, it used to be like 60% for zero. Now it's only 29%. And we're talking about 71% chance now that the Fed, Powell, will keep increasing rates. And this next time around will be 25 basis points, right? I don't know. I just think that that is a mistake. The banks are already feeling hurt right now. I hear commercial banking is even worse. Yet the Fed may be continuing its rate hikes and it's going to lead to bad things, right? So, I mean, again, this is kind of iffy. We still have a full month, right? And we're going to get another CPI reading. That may change the percentage up, but if the Fed continues to be very hawkish, there will be consequences, okay? And that's why someone like Balaji, who used to be the ex-CTO of Coinbase, says that an imminent 3,300% Bitcoin explosion is possible. He's the one that predicted that Bitcoin could hit $1 million in 90 days. Okay? I think there's zero chance of this. And if it does happen, then we got real problems. Okay? That means that the dollar has collapsed. Our financial system has collapsed altogether. And we don't want that within 90 days, okay? But regardless, his argument is this, that, hey, there's going to be more weakness with the banks, especially if the Fed continues raise, right? Banks could collapse. Right now, you know, deposits are dwindling. Deposits are getting smaller and smaller. No one's putting their money into banks right now. And they have no business. No one wants to take out a loan right now, right? Loans are extremely, extremely expensive. So that's his explanation. So will this help Bitcoin in the long run? Sure. Will it hit $1 million in 90 days? Probably not. Probably not. But Balaji and Kathy Wood and Michael Saylor, Mike Novogratz, the Mooch, I mean, all these guys, right? They're all betting Bitcoin to be big in the future. But short term, right? Coming off from bottom, we have this to look forward to, the halving event, right? So if we're following 2019 and there's so many fractal patterns that show we are mimicking 2019 in a big way, or very similarly, right? That means Leading up to the halving event, will probably go sideways. Now, in 2020, it dipped again because of the COVID crash. Okay, everything dipped. Everyone panic sold for a very short amount of time, but you see a V-shaped recovery. But had we not had that, Bitcoin would probably be just flat, like around 10,000, right? So that's the thing. If Bitcoin continues its trajectory upwards, that means we're set to hit like $50,000 and then maybe come down to about 40,000 until the halving event, and that's when we start skyrocketing. And many people have asked me, when does altcoin season start, George? Well, it starts after that. After Bitcoin goes up explosively, then the money flows into the altcoins. It's always been like that. And I'm sure altcoins will show strength, more strength this time around than previous cycle, because there's a lot more going on. But, you know, the crazy altcoin season people have been waiting for, that's going to happen probably after this halving event and most likely in 2025, right? But we are following 2019 very similarly. But this brings us to this. Bitcoin spent the longest ever amount of time under its 2-year average, okay? Moving average. So you can see 2019, Bitcoin dipped below this 2-year moving average for 3 months. 2015, 11 months. 2019, 6 months, okay? We had that black swan COVID sell-off briefly. And then right now we're at 11 months, okay? So we could technically break above, but Bitcoin has to be moving pretty suddenly. However, what does this mean? Well, usually, right, you have this thing where it's where if you're oversold for too long, or you could go into reverse, you're overbought for too long, you generally have explosive movement to the other side, right? We've been suppressed for a very, very long time, right? 2022 was an absolutely horrible year, not only because of macro conditions, but also we had a lot of bankruptcies. We had a lot of collapses, and a little bit about Do Kwon we'll cover shortly. But because of all those things, we got suppressed. We were oversold for so long, right? Now we are ready to bounce back in a big way. Look at what happened after the 2015, not even 2019, 2015, when we broke above that 2-year moving average. We went from $160 low to 20,000 top. You do the math there, right? That's how suppressed and oversold we have been. So think about it. Think about this next top. Where will Bitcoin be? 200,000, 250,000, $1 million? No one knows. Okay, the environment has changed. The dollar amount is much bigger, but there's plenty of money and there's plenty of institutions and countries ready to FOMO in, unlike ever before. So I think this is a very, very, very positive thing that's about to happen, right? Of course, new addresses, all-time high, continues to go up and up and up. More and more people are coming in. No surprise at this point. Awesome. And you have another state that is trying to protect Bitcoin mining activities. Texas already did this. Now you have Arkansas that's doing this. And soon you'll have more states that are doing this. States are now recognizing Bitcoin is good. Miners are good. We should allow the miners to come in. They help us make money and stabilize and improve our power grid, right? So now we have another state that's saying, hey, Bitcoin miners, come. This is fantastic, right? Rather than take the stance of Gary Gensler and try to like shut down everything, now you're seeing states turn very pro crypto. Awesome stuff. So adoption is definitely improving, fundamentals improving, macro conditions may be improving if Powell doesn't screw it up, but we're getting closer to cycle. I mean, there's just so many reasons to be positive about Bitcoin, especially with Easter and previous Easter trends too. But outside of Bitcoin, just a few other little news about Polygon and Avalanche. I mentioned that, right? Polygon, you guys know, one of the biggest L1, L2s out there. They're really targeting games now. You're starting to see them attract a lot of gaming projects. Normally, you don't think about that with Polygon, but they have become the second largest gaming blockchain. This is in terms of user activity. What's interesting is if you look at this, Wax is #1 by far. And they used to be very, very popular in 2021, but I don't hear too much about Wax. But amazingly, they are still the most active by far. So maybe a good time to be looking at Wax again, too. I'm going to do some more research on them and see what else they have done over the years. But Polygon definitely is growing by leaps and bounds. A lot of enthusiasm over EKZVM, right? And they even partnered with Immutable X recently to kind of promote ZK-EVM, which is just a scaling solution for smart contracts. There's a lot of scaling solutions for the chain itself, but as for processing the smart contracts, there's not a lot of scaling solutions out there. But Polygon is about to launch it. That's why they've partnered with Immutable X, and I'm sure they will partner up with others that are kind of in the L2 space. And then you have a lot of games coming aboard. Here's one, Lollipop NFT racing game that's coming from David Ayer. Okay. Fast and Furious co-writer. Says you go bring some cool racing games. I don't know, maybe. Maybe, but you know, Polygon is definitely a powerhouse. That's why I'm so bullish on Polygon. And they are trying to grow out. Not only just, you know, their dApps, but also trying to really grow their GameFi space. And so are many others. Avalanche too. Avalanche has been growing by leaps and bounds also recently, right? Partnering up with a lot like the likes of Amazon. Here's one. They're partnering up with SK Planet to expand the Asian footprint because they want to expand and bring in a lot of dApps and game makers. Like, for example, District 9 Director is launching a Web3 game, and they're launching their own subnet. So Avalanche right now is in a process of getting more subnets, which are essentially chains within Avalanche, and the chains can talk to each other and they can utilize the resources in the main chain, Avalanche, right? And we have heard of other games like DeFi Kingdoms that have come aboard Avalanche already, but they're also making a big push not only to just get dApps and subnets, but also to just get games. You know, games, if you think about GameFi, games, maybe metaverses, they're kind of like a natural extension of Web 2 to Web 3, right? Like, it's a natural extension because people don't even know. They're just playing something that's cool or addictive or whatever, right? It's a really easy way to make that transition to get them from Web 2, where they're paying for the game or paying for in-game items, to 3, where you're playing to earn items that you can actually own and sell. It's totally different, but it's a really easy way, if you think about it, to bring users in to the space. And here's the subnets that's launching. It's still relatively small, but it's growing. It's growing. And DeFi Kingdoms was the very first subnet on Avalanche. Also, I saw this. Animoca brands, they're absolutely huge into gaming and NFTs. They're also partnered up with Yuga Labs. You guys know, Bored Apes, right? They're coming out with another NFT game called Legends of Mara, which you can only play if you have an ape. That's interesting. So if you have a Bored Ape or a Mutant Ape, right, or a Coda, you could see a Coda's in there, right? You can only play with if you own one of these NFTs. Animoca is helping them, but there's just some big stuff happening in this space. A lot of development, and it's going to be exciting. Going to be exciting. I don't know about metaverses, but gaming for sure is going to push forward in the Web3 space. What else is there? DYDX, a derivative exchange in Canada. They're shutting down. They're exiting the Canadian market. I know a lot of you guys are from Canada. I don't know if you're using this DYDX. I have never heard of them, but I just want to give you guys a warning. If you're in Canada, you probably want to get out of this exchange ASAP. Okay. And then lastly, I saw this Kwon news. So this is the reason why they're trying to capture Kwon. Not that he caused Luna to fail. It's because they have identified that he took out enormous amount of money. In fact, they have identified about $314 million, okay, in illicit assets that were taken out from the company by Do Kwon and his associates. And about 69 million of that was directly to Do Kwon. This is the reason why they want to charge him. Yes, anyone could be foolish, anyone could be dumb, anyone could be greedy and drive a project to zero. That's not illegal, but what's illegal is if you take out funds, you siphon the funds from that failed project that belongs to the users, right? That's where it gets illegal, and that is why they have arrested him and they have seized all these assets from him and all the other co-founders and stuff like that, because they just took out an enormous amount of money, right? So that's what it's coming down to. All right, guys, that's what I want to say. Let's do some quick Q&A, and I gotta go. And I know most of you guys want to get on with your Saturday as well. All right, scrolling down here from the top. Let me see if I missed anything. Tough Cookie. Thanks, George. House looks good. Change orders are brutal. And not everything is a change order. That's the thing. And there's a lot more that will be coming. But I thought I edited that video pretty well. Let's see. People are asking about Gala. Gala recently partnered up with Huobi. I'm not a fan of Huobi anymore because Justin Sun bought it, but Gala is still a beast in the space. And yes, I never heard of DYDX. I'm not into derivatives. You guys know that. And maybe that's why, but I've never looked into them. Let's see. Robert, what do you think the worst case scenario are for crypto regulations? What will help propel us to the moon? Or if we go the other way, what might make us grab our ledgers and flee the country? I mean, I don't know if there's any regulations that will help crypto go to the moon because it's meant to be decentralized. It's not really meant to be regulated, the space, right? But of course, when these regulators go after bad actors, we all feel better. But ultimately, it's supposed to be a free market, right? So I don't know. Best case scenario is they leave KYC on exchanges. They go after the bad actors. They approve Bitcoin ETF. And they approve a way that crypto projects can actually register with the SEC and not be sued afterwards. Those are all good things. Having laws in place to protect the miners and crypto projects overall, those are all good things. But regardless if they happen in America or not, crypto will move forward. So I don't know if they will help, but they certainly won't hurt. Now, of course, the U.S. could be very anti. They could try to basically shut down every crypto company, cause every person in the U.S. that transact with any kind of U.S.-based exchange or crypto company to comply with KYC, right? That would cause a lot of people to get out of the U.S., right? So I had a dream that Steve Jobs was Satoshi. Possible? Zero chance. No. He's not a programmer. He can't do it even if he wanted to. So, no. What about the latest news involving Avalanche, new partnership with Evergreen, SK Planet? I just talked about SK Planet. Evergreen is not a partnership. It's them coming out with a subnet for institutions, like kind of like a private subnet, right? It's good. It's good. Of all the L1s from 2022 bull run other than ETH, what three do you think are most likely to not only stick around but hit new all-time high? All of them. Joel Amos, all of them. I don't believe any L1s besides Luna will hit all-time highs. I mean, they'll break through. Solana will probably take more time than the others, but they will all break through. There's no reason why they wouldn't. So could you share what you're teaching your kids about finance? Denise, that's a good question. Not that much other than to value money. I think, you know, value money is very important, and kids don't have the concept of that because, you know, they're given allowances and, you know, gifts from grandparents and stuff like that, right? They kind of just feel like it's free money. But I try to stress, and not only just me, but my wife and I, we stress the importance of money, not wasting it, right? Saving it, trying to get them to learn about investing. They're a little bit too young to learn, to really understand. My oldest one kind of understands, but that's really it. When they get older, then of course I'm going to teach them more that I know, but they're still pretty young. Is there any risk of staking Atom on Ledger besides it being stolen? It won't be stolen. If you're staking directly from Ledger, you still control the keys. It doesn't go away. Can't be stolen. Unless the chain itself somehow has a vulnerability. Even then, I don't know if it can be stolen. I don't think it can. I think if you have it on Ledger and you're staking it directly within, you control the keys, so it's yours. The risk is Atom goes down in price. That's it. Oh yeah, I said I wanted to share this this idea. So recently I've been talking a lot with, well, first of all, a couple things. I'm gonna be doing Twitter Spaces in the future. So I'm doing a couple. One hosted by Brian, and he's going to have Yat Su, the CEO of Animoca, on Monday. That's going to be a big one. And then Tuesday, I'm going to have one kind of discussing the future of Web3 Hollywood, which I'll give more insight, and that's going to be on my Twitter. That's going to be talking more about like what I just went through with the show and what to expect, you know, future stuff and where it's going to lead. But I think in the future I may do more spaces just consistently. But the other idea I had was this: since I have become close to Brian, and he is a really well-connected guy and a pure VC guy, so he's in this whole other space that I'm not in. And he can see things differently, a little bit differently than me. But the idea is to come up with a new show, maybe put it on Saturday night or something, where it's just me and him, and we get pitched by one new project. Okay, kind of like Shark Tank format. Like they have 3 to 5 minutes to pitch us what their project is about, right? What they do, why it's great and why it's important and stuff like that. And then we both grill him on that project, right? So I think it's unique because, first of all, no one's doing that. And second of all, right, a lot of you guys are always asking for new projects, right? New unknown projects that could be the next gem. Right? This will be a really easy way to determine whether these guys are BS artists. Can they even, you know, promise? Can they even do what they promise, right? Do they have good token economics? Do they have something that's worthy of being invested into, right? So I think this would be a good idea to come up with this kind of show and just have it consistently once a week, one project per week, right? And we both just grill them and then decide if it's a good project or not, right? So that's the idea. And I think Brian likes it. I like it. Everyone I've told to so far likes it. So you guys tell me if you like it or not. And it's different. It'll be totally different, right, than what I'm doing. And I could plug Saturday night or something. You know, one of these days where I don't have a night stream at night, you know, it'll be a good time to release it. Let's see here. I see the comments coming in. Jalama says yes. And then Muse News Crypto says going to watch this show for sure. Love this idea. I would definitely never miss an episode. Dude, yeah, Saturday night. Yeah. I mean, I think this is a good idea. I mean, and of course we're not to go get like random shit coins to be, you know, to be pitching. Of course, it'll be projects that we vet already ahead of time that looks promising, right? They could already be very well backed, you know, not like random meme coins. Well, who knows? Maybe meme coins will come up too, but you know, so I think I like that idea. Mike, appreciate that. Maddie, cool. All right, Joel says good too. All right, I'll let you guys go. So I got validation. It's a good idea. But you know what? Enjoy your Saturday. Bitcoin is going to be probably sideways for a little bit. That's okay. More and more good things are coming. So stay strong, my friends. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel tomorrow because it is Easter. I won't be filming. I won't be streaming tomorrow morning, but I may have something for you guys at night, okay? So just a heads up. But if you miss me too much, you can check out my Drivers Only channel and my I Am George channel. All right, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.